Once upon a time, in a world filled with stories yet to be told, there lived a remarkable individual named Odell Marin. Upon discovering that my sister was sharing a meal with my fiancé, I took it upon myself to secure the very table adjacent to theirs. In a tale woven with betrayal, my own blood, once a source of warmth and belonging, became the thief of my dress, my dreams, and the very essence of my future, all under the guise of mere chemistry. In the shadows, they quietly erased my existence, stealthily plundering the essence of my life for months on end, all the while wearing smiles as I lingered in the darkness. Will you choose to remain in silence, or will you bear witness as I gather back each fragment that was taken from me? As we prepare to embark on this journey together, we invite you to share a little about yourself. What hour finds you listening to our tale, and in what corner of the world do you reside? Share your thoughts in the space below. We eagerly await your words, for they hold the promise of connection. On that tranquil evening, a stillness hung in the air, as if the world itself held its breath, sensing that something was amiss in the serene calm. Cashin stood in the shower, a soft melody escaping his lips, as if the world outside held no power over him. In the cozy embrace of our living room in Austin, I found myself nestled on the couch, sifting through a treasure trove of sample color palettes, each one a potential gem for an upcoming client presentation. It was a night that whispered promises of warmth and rest, a perfect canvas for the soothing embrace of tea and the gentle lull of slumber. And then, as if summoned by some unseen force, his phone flickered to life, casting a glow in the dimness around him. Merely a gentle nudge, a whisper in the vast expanse of communication. It was a gentle chime, a sound I had encountered countless times before, each note weaving its way into the fabric of my memories. In a moment that felt like a fleeting whisper of fate, I found myself caught in a glance I never intended to take. I promise it was not my intention. Yet, the screen beckoned to me, and an insatiable curiosity, perhaps something more profound, compelled me to steal a glance. On a Friday evening in a cozy private booth at Aria, a delightful surprise awaits her, one that she is sure to cherish. In that fleeting moment, I found myself caught in a brief pause, a blink that seemed to stretch into eternity. It was a message preview, and it bore the name of my sister Valora. A tightness gripped my stomach. As I pondered the situation, a single thought emerged in my mind. Surely this cannot be right. Yet it was not as it seemed. In the dim light of the evening, the sender's identity emerged with unmistakable clarity, and the tone carried an air of familiarity that wrapped around the words like an old friend's embrace. Ah, a secluded nook, perhaps? A hidden retreat from the bustling world outside? In the realm of Aria? It was not a destination for the casual gatherings of colleagues or the simple pleasures of an evening meal. It was the very place where Cashin led me to celebrate our first anniversary together. I remained still for a moment, caught in the grip of time. In that moment, my hand seemed to possess a will of its own, stretching out towards his phone as if it were an extension of my very being. In that moment, I found myself standing at the crossroads of decision, a flicker of uncertainty dancing in my mind. In truth, I was never one to pry into the affairs of others. Yet there was an air of mystery surrounding that message. It was not the spark of curiosity that drove the tale forward. It was a primal urge, a deep-seated instinct that guided the heart and soul. What is the secret code that unlocks the door to our adventure? It is, indeed, our anniversary once more. In that moment, a desire to laugh bubbled up within me, a spark of joy waiting to burst forth. As the screen flickered to life, I found myself crossing the threshold into a realm unlike any I had ever known. It was a tapestry woven with words, each message a stitch in the fabric of their connection. In the dim light of a fading day, a betrayal began to unfold, slow and deliberate, like the gentle peeling of an old, weathered paint. Each moment stretched, revealing the hidden fractures in trust, as shadows danced around the truth that lingered just out of reach. Once upon a time, they found themselves with dinner reservations, a promise of an evening filled with delightful flavors and enchanting conversations. Whispers of laughter shared among friends, secrets woven into the fabric of their camaraderie, each chuckle a reminder of moments only they understand. Whispers of events that unfolded during the hours I believed Cashin was toiling away at the office or journeying to distant lands for a conference. And then there it was, the photo. Once upon a time, in a realm not so far away, there existed a name that echoed through the winds, Valora. Adorned in the dress. Once upon a time, there was a dress, a creation of fabric and dreams. Ah, the one I had meticulously selected for our engagement shoot, a moment destined to be captured in time. It was the dress I entrusted to her just last month, a gesture of kindness for her charity event, as she found herself without anything fitting to don for the occasion. There it was again, the very dress she had once smirked at, playfully declaring it's cute. It feels a touch humble for my taste, I must admit. In that moment, she stood there, adorned in that familiar dress, one shoulder teasingly slipping down, a hand confidently resting on her hip as if she were the queen of her own realm, or perhaps as though she had just seized something far beyond mere fabric. As I gazed upon the image, time seemed to stretch, and I found myself lost in its depths for what felt like an eternity. My gaze wandered beyond the shadows of betrayal. As I gazed upon the concept of erasure, a profound sense of contemplation washed over me. In a twist of fate, my sister had seized something once held sacred and woven it into her own tapestry of life. My beloved fiancé. Once upon a time, there was a dress that held the essence of dreams and stories untold. In the heart of my world, there lies a special place. Not a single tear fell. In that moment, I found myself standing there, the phone resting in my hand, but I did not send it flying across the room. In that moment, silence enveloped me, and I found myself holding back the urge to let out a cry. With careful hands, I returned the phone to its original resting place, just as I had discovered it. With a measured pace, I made my way to the kitchen, each step deliberate and calm. With hands that ought to tremble, a glass of water was filled to the brim. Alas, they were not. It's curious how betrayal doesn't strike with the suddenness of lightning. It flows in, chilling the air around, wrapping everything in its frosty embrace. As the cool water graced my lips, I reached for my phone, fingers dancing across the screen to send a message to Elias. "Are you awake, my friend?" In the blink of an eye he responded, his words arriving in less than a minute. "Is this meant for you?" In every moment, without fail. Once upon a time, there was a name that echoed through the ages, Elias. Once upon a time, there was a bond like no other, a friendship that stood the test of time and trials. This companion, my best friend, was a beacon of light in the journey of life. Once upon a time, there was someone who held a significant place in my heart, a figure from my past, my ex. There was but one soul who had laid eyes upon the velour damage in its entirety and dared to name it for what it truly was. Text as soon as he answered the phone, I declared my intention to secure a dinner reservation. I held my voice firm and unwavering. In a world where precision and detail reign supreme, the clinical approach unfolds like a well-structured narrative, each element meticulously crafted to reveal the essence of the human experience. Every observation, every measurement tells a story of its own, weaving together the threads of knowledge and understanding in a tapestry of discovery. On a Friday night, the air was filled with anticipation as Arya came alive. In that moment, time seemed to stand still. And so it was. Beside them? Indeed. In an unexpected turn of events, the maitre d' displayed a remarkable sense of hospitality, going above and beyond to ensure every need was met. There was no need for me to plead or weave tales. Once upon a time, I expressed a desire for an intimate dinner, perhaps close to another gathering for the sake of work connections. With a solemn vow, he assured her of his silence. With the task complete, I found myself standing in the heart of the kitchen, a moment of stillness enveloping me. In the stillness of the room, a gentle hum emanated from the fridge, a soft whisper of life amidst the silence. From above, a gentle cascade of water whispers through the air, a soft melody of the shower's embrace. It left a hollow echo in my mind. It felt as though the very fabric of reality had unraveled, leaving one to wonder how such a thing could possibly be unfolding before their eyes. Yet indeed it was. As I flicked the switch to extinguish the kitchen light, I made my way back down the hallway, the shadows dancing around me. In the warm embrace of cascading water, Cashin lingered, lost in the soothing rhythm of the shower. Rather than surrendering to the embrace of sleep, I quietly ventured into my home office. There I sat at the weathered wooden desk, a cherished relic passed down from my father. As I gently opened the navy leather diary, a sense of nostalgia washed over me, for it had remained untouched since the dawn of the new year. With a crisp, new page before me, I carefully inscribed a single sentence in bold, black ink, and then, with purpose, I underlined it 3 times, each stroke a declaration of intent. Come, let us embark on a journey to discover the sensations that await us. To take a seat beside betrayal and remain unshaken. With a gentle sigh, I closed the diary, sealing away the stories and secrets held within its pages. And in that moment, my hands trembled with a life of their own. Just a tiny morsel. Come, let us embark on a journey to discover the sensations that await us. To take a seat beside betrayal and remain unshaken. For 3 days, that line had woven itself into the fabric of my thoughts, lingering like a whisper in the wind. As I stood before the mirror, toothbrush in hand, I found myself whispering it again and again, the words swirling around like a melody in the morning light. As the sun began to rise, casting a golden hue over the road, a soft whisper escaped my lips, carried away by the wind as I journeyed to work. With each turn of the page in my journal, I inscribed the words anew as if they were a sacred chant, one I had yet to fully embrace, yet desperately sought to believe. As the sun dipped low in the sky, Friday arrived with a swiftness that caught everyone by surprise. Swift as the wind. As the clock struck 6:30, I found myself already at Aria, the evening unfolding before me. In that moment, I found myself in a realm where shadows danced and silence reigned, a place cloaked in a gentle twilight that whispered secrets of the night. As if it sensed that a moment of tension was on the brink of revealing itself. As I stepped into the establishment, the maitre d' cast a glance my way, one that spoke of familiarity and unspoken tales reserved for those who not only tipped generously but also stirred a bit of excitement in the air. With a subtle nod, he beckoned toward the shadowy corner, his gesture laden with unspoken meaning. As you wished, Miss Marin. Behold table 12. At long last, your guest has graced you with their presence. Ah, a visitor has arrived. As I turned, my gaze fell upon Elias, already settled into his seat. He wore a navy blazer over a crisp white shirt, devoid of a tie, exuding an air of calm that was ever so familiar. Ah, you truly believed I would allow you to confront this challenge all by yourself, did you? With a gentle smile, he rose to his feet. With a gentle motion, he extended his hand, inviting connection. With a decisive moment, I grasped it in my hands. His grip enveloped my hand with a warmth that felt both steady and reassuring, lingering just long enough to invite the gaze of onlookers, who would soon arrive, and in that moment, it might appear as if we were entwined in something deeper. He drew back my chair with a flourish, as if we were stepping into the enchanting world of a first date. In the stillness of the moment, I found myself seated, gently caressing the soft fabric of my dress. In the dim light of the evening, a fitted black sheath emerged, understated yet powerful, exuding an aura of strength without the need for embellishment. Ah, the very sort of attire that Valura would shun with all her might, a garment she would never dare to don. There it sat, my wine, patiently awaiting my arrival. Once upon a time, there was a wine, crisp and dry, that danced upon the palate like a gentle breeze on a warm summer day. With each deliberate sip, I allowed the cool bite to envelop me, grounding my senses in its refreshing embrace. Elias drew closer, his curiosity piqued. Are you certain you wish to witness this moment unfold? From the very moment she slipped into my dress, I knew without a doubt, I replied. As the clock struck 7:12, Cashin made his entrance. With a careful gaze, he swept across the room, as if he were searching for a long-lost friend, all the while striving to maintain an air of nonchalance. My hair, arranged in a manner that echoes the gentle way I once caressed it with my fingers. There it was again, that familiar slight hunch in his shoulders, a telltale sign of his nerves creeping in. From a distance of 10 feet, I beheld the unfolding scene before me. And so Valura took her steps forward, drawn by an unseen force. And as if it were a scene from a grand tale, she made her entrance once more. With her hair elegantly swept up, she moved with a confidence that turned heads, her smile radiating as if she had never encountered a single sorrow in her existence. There she stood, adorned in minute stilettos, the exquisite Louboutins I had graciously lent her for that client dinner half a year prior. Alas, they were never returned. Much like the countless fragments of my essence she had nonchalantly taken, only to declare them her own. With a twinkle in her eye, she let out a hearty laugh at the words of Cashin. As they nestled into the cozy booth, they chose to sit side by side, a subtle intimacy enveloping them. They stood together, as if the universe had conspired to bring them to this very instant, their connection palpable, like a couple who had already rehearsed this moment in the theater of their hearts. With a quiet sigh, Elias whispered a name that hung in the air like a fleeting shadow. It seems as though they have practiced their roles, each movement and word flowing with a certain familiarity. Silence enveloped the moment, as I chose not to respond. In that moment, I found myself captivated, my eyes tracing the subtle dance of their body language. She leaned in, her posture inviting, while his hand lingered just above her thigh, a silent promise hanging in the air. With a graceful swirl of my wine, I rose to my feet. It was a moment suspended in time, for Elias, with all his might, chose not to intervene. With a careful step, I meandered along the winding path past the booth, feigning a journey to the restroom. Upon my return, our gazes met, a fleeting moment suspended in time. It was Valura who caught sight of me first. In that fleeting moment, time seemed to stand still as she became a statue, her body caught in the grip of an unseen force. In an instant, her smile crumbled before our very eyes. And so Cashin turned next, his gaze shifting like the winds of fate, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. In that moment, his jaw fell open in sheer astonishment. As I approached their booth, a sense of tranquility enveloped me, steady and unwavering. Not a tremor escaped my voice. Velura, I uttered with a gentle grace. Ah, I trust you recall the tale of Elias. Elias loomed behind me, a quiet giant, his head bobbing in courteous acknowledgement. He wore a solemn expression, devoid of any trace of a smile. There was no necessity for it. Velura's lips parted, then closed once more. Cashin appeared as though he wished to vanish into the very ground beneath him. And you, I turned to him, my voice a whisper carried by the winds of fate. In my heart, I hold a conviction that through the eyes of the divine, all things are revealed to me. Cashin's eyes fluttered open, a moment of surprise washing over him. "Oh Lin, pray tell, what is this curious thing before us?" "You tell me," I said, tilting my head with curiosity. "My purpose tonight is simple, much like yours, to savor the meal before us." They stood still as if caught in a moment suspended in time. Not a single word escaped their lips. It was Velura who cast her gaze downward first, as if the tiled floor held the power to shield her from the world above. As I shifted my gaze, I found the maitre d' observing from a respectful distance, his demeanor poised and attentive. Could we perhaps bring these two tables closer together, uniting them in a harmonious embrace? With a voice as smooth as syrup, I inquired. "Gather round, for the moment has come to share our thoughts and weave our words into a tapestry of dialogue." With a subtle nod, the maitre d' gracefully united the tables, his actions speaking volumes without the need for a single word. In that moment, the soft clink of silverware echoed gently, accompanied by the delicate shuffle of linen, as our paths intertwined in a dance of quiet intimacy. Elias once more found his way to my side, settling in with a familiar ease. Cashin sat rigidly on the opposite side, while Velura, beside him, clasped her arms tightly in her lap, as if holding onto a secret that weighed heavily on her heart. In the stillness that enveloped the room, silence reigned supreme, and for what felt like an eternity, not a single word was uttered. The table held a stillness that spoke volumes. In that moment, the air felt heavy, as if it were wrapping around me like a thick blanket, stifling every breath I tried to take. It was Cashin who took the first step. Indeed, he did. "It's not what you think," he began, his voice trembling with uncertainty. "Ah, Odelin, I had every intention of speaking with you, I promise." "We never intended for stop," I interjected gently. "Simply refrained from altering the timeline for my ease." With a gentle sigh, Velura crossed one leg over the other, a moment of stillness enveloping her. "This isn't about betrayal," she said, her voice steady as she gazed into the distance, as if searching for the truth hidden in the shadows. "Once upon a time, there existed a connection so profound that it beckoned us, impossible to overlook. In a fleeting moment, it unfolded before our eyes. What if there was a bond, a thread weaving through the fabric of existence?" I tilted my head, a curious gesture that invited the world to reveal its secrets. "Is that truly what you would call it, sending him the reservation I secured for our anniversary dinner?" Cashin adjusted his position in the chair, a subtle movement that hinted at the thought swirling within him. Velura's jaw quivered with unspoken tension. In the hushed atmosphere, Elias held his silence, yet there was a gentle magic in the way his thumb danced across my knuckles beneath the table, providing me with the steady anchor I sought. Text I looked them both dead in the eye and declared, "You didn't fall in love. In the quiet moments when I was not there, you crafted this tale, rehearsing it with care." With a sudden burst of air, Velura let out a snort, a sound that echoed through the stillness. "Come now, Odelin, he was never really meant to be yours." "Ah, you too, you danced around the idea of a home, didn't you? Yet there was always that lingering sense of departure, as if you were forever poised on the threshold, ready to step away." Though the lure was tempting, I chose to resist its call. Instead, I reclined, serene as though we were sharing stories over a leisurely Sunday brunch. "Ah, but you have long believed that taking what isn't yours is the same as claiming victory. Isn't it amusing how that pattern keeps revealing itself time and again?" Her smile shattered like fragile glass. "From our youthful days, you had a flair for the dramatic, weaving tales that captivated us all. Do you recall the art contest that once captured our imaginations? It seemed as though the loss of that cherished photo spot was akin to a grave injustice, a transgression that stirred the very depths of your soul." In that moment, my breath was stolen away. In the quiet corners of my mind, a memory stirred, beckoning me to recall. It lingered in my mind, a testament to my victory, for I had not lost. In a moment that felt like a dream, I found myself standing at the pinnacle of victory, having claimed first place. In a land where the hills whispered secrets and the river sang songs of old, there existed a realm known for its unique charm and vibrant spirit. This was a place where communities thrived, each with their own tales woven into the very fabric of the landscape. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the laughter of children playing in the sun, creating a tapestry of life that was both rich and inviting. Here, every corner held a story waiting to be told, and every heartbeat in rhythm with the pulse of the land. For a fleeting week, my photo graced the family mantle, a silent witness to the stories that unfolded around it. In that moment, Dad took down the old image and in its place, he hung the radiant picture of Valura, crowned as homecoming queen, a symbol of joy and pride. He spoke of it as a true reflection of the family's essence. At the tender age of 16, I found myself on the cusp of discovery. And so it was that week, as I penned my thoughts in the diary, I came to realize that I was but the background, while she shone brightly as the headline. In the shadows of a quiet moment, Valura remained blissfully unaware of the secret exchange that unfolded before my eyes. Or that I wept in the garage for 2 long hours, the radio blaring to drown out my sorrow, ensuring no one could hear my pain. Silence enveloped me as I chose not to reply. Not at that moment. With a gentle scrape of wood against the floor, I leaned back in my chair and addressed the maitre d' with a sense of purpose. Our journey together has reached its conclusion. Gratitude fills the air, a simple yet profound expression of appreciation. Thank you. With a gentle nod, he acknowledged the moment. In that moment, Elias rose to his feet. The table remained silent, offering no objections. The journey back to my apartment unfolded in silence, a silence that resonated deep within, like the faint buzz of static coursing through my very being. Elias accompanied me to my door, pausing for a moment to cast a lingering gaze my way, before departing with a soft whisper, "Text me if you need." There I was, standing within the cozy confines of my home, my shoes cast aside, still adorned in the attire from the evening's meal. Sleep eluded me. There I was, nestled on the couch, the phone cradled in my hand, as I began to scroll through the endless sea of content before me. In a moment that would soon ripple through the digital realm, Valura had shared her thoughts with the world. Behold, a fresh collection of captivating images awaits your gaze. In the heart of a sprawling vineyard, where the sun kissed the grapes and the breeze whispered through the leaves, a tale of nature's bounty unfolds. Cashin's hand rested gently upon her lower back. Valura donned a dress that mirrored the very one I had envisioned for my own shoot, a striking resemblance that stirred the air with a sense of fate. Once upon a time, there were captions that danced across the pages, whispering stories and secrets to those who dared to read them. Ah, the words that danced beneath the grand image. Once upon a time, there was a saying that captured the essence of wisdom and reflection. It was the very message I had sent to Cashin just last month as I was weaving together the plans for our engagement session. In the quiet corners of the heart, love whispers softly, yet its echoes can last an eternity. As I gazed at the screen before me, my heart raced as if I had just sprinted a mile, my breath came in shallow gasps, and a cold sweat trickled down my spine. They didn't merely take him away. They seized the tale that was mine to tell. In the tapestry of my existence, the threads of my outline, the snapshots of my journey, the whispers of my words, and the essence of my style have been woven, only to be taken and claimed by others as their own. As I sat in the stillness of the moment, a sudden buzz from my phone broke the silence. Once upon a time, there was a name that echoed through the ages, Elias. Are you still awake, my friend? With fingers poised over the keys, I crafted my response. They did not merely take him away. They seized the tale that was mine to tell. With a gentle sigh, I set the phone aside and made my way to the bookshelf, where I carefully retrieved the weather journal, its pages whispering tales of the past. Once a proud tome, its leather cover now frayed and weary, clings to the pages within as if grasping for the stories it holds dear. It was the very one that had remained untouched for more than 10 long years. As I turned the pages, they fluttered by like whispers in the wind. In the pages of my memory, there are whimsical birthday doodles, tales of old crushes that dance like shadows in my mind, and family holidays where I wore a mask of joy, concealing the truth of my heart. And so in that moment, I stumbled upon it. Once upon a time, in a world that feels like a distant memory, there was a moment that took place 15 years ago. Though the page had aged to a yellowed hue, the ink remained as sharp and clear as the day it was penned. Should I ever fade away from the tapestry of my own existence, I wish for someone to catch a glimpse of my absence. As I let my fingers glide over the words, a sense of wonder enveloped me. In a hushed tone, I realized something profound has come to my attention. And once the veil is lifted, the art of pretense slips through your fingers, never to be grasped again. As dawn broke the following day, I chose not to lift the lid of my laptop. Alas, the emails remained unchecked. Alas, the plants went unfed. A departure from my usual routine. There I was, perched in my chair, the warmth of my coffee slipping away into the chill of neglect, my gaze lost in the void. Suddenly, like a spark in the darkness, my phone flickered to life. revealing a name that had been absent from my world for far too long. Once upon a time there was a name that echoed through the whispers of the wind. May Whitmore. In the hallowed halls of law school, our paths intertwined, only to be swept apart by the currents of life that led us in different directions. It had come to my attention that she and Valora had rekindled their bond in recent times. Gather round for the weekly tales spun in book clubs, where stories come alive. The gentle flow of Pilates, a dance of strength and grace, and the laughter shared over wine nights, where friendships deepen with every sip. It had lingered in the shadows of my mind, unnoticed, until this very moment. Once upon a time in the month of May, there was a tale waiting to be told. A story woven with the threads of time and experience. Greetings, my friend. I sense that this moment may feel a bit peculiar. Shall we have a conversation? Is it just the two of us? In the heart of the bustling city, she chose a quaint little cafe nestled on East 6th, where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee danced in the air. In a serene corner of the world, there existed a humble establishment, where the rich aroma of espresso wafted through the air, served in genuine ceramic cups. The gentle strumming of acoustic melodies, reminiscent of the 90s, filled the space, creating an atmosphere that felt like a warm embrace. As I stepped inside, there she was, her hands cradling her mug as if it held the key to hastening her words. "Thank you for coming," she said, her voice warm and inviting. With a gentle nod, I settled into the seat that awaited me across from her. What stirs in the heart of May? With a moment's pause, she reached for her phone, her fingers trembling slightly as she brought it into view. "It seemed to me that you were already aware. Though I wished to remain on the sidelines, I couldn't help but feel that you were not meant to endure this fate." With a gentle tap, she unveiled a thread of messages, each one waiting to share its tale. At the pinnacle of the page, Valora's name gleamed with a commanding presence. What of her messages? In a world where shadows linger and hearts grow cold, there exists a force so harsh, it leaves a mark on all it touches. This force is none other than cruelty, a bitter companion that walks alongside those who dare to tread its path. In a land where whispers of valor echoed through the valleys, there existed a name that carried the weight of legends, Valora. She clings with the innocence and devotion of a young puppy, ever eager for warmth and companionship. In that moment, Cassian found himself gasping for air, as if the very essence of life was slipping away. In a realm where whispers of destiny intertwine with the fabric of time, there exists a name that echoes through the ages, Valora. Oh, how his face beams with joy in my presence. It was as if she had ensnared him within the confines of a cage. With a heavy heart, May's eyes shimmered with remorse as she extended the phone towards me. For nearly a year now, their paths have intertwined, drawing them closer with each passing moment. Not a single tremor passed through me. More was not what I sought. With a firm grip, I returned the phone, my jaw clenched, and uttered, "Thank you for your honesty. That surpasses what I've received from the majority of folks." As the sun began to dip low in the sky, I found myself behind the wheel, making my way to my mother's house. It was a journey not just of distance, but of resolve, a test to see if I could stand firm in that familiar place without crumbling under the weight of memories. In that house, the air was thick with the scent of lemon cleaner, mingling with the bittersweet whispers of nostalgia. It felt almost too pristine, as if the very walls held their breath, echoing a hollow emptiness beneath the surface. As she turned the handle and pushed the door ajar, a wave of astonishment washed over her. "Odellin, is all well in your world?" "I just wanted to talk," I said, my voice steady as a calm river flowing through the valley. Once upon a time there existed a realm known as Valora, where the whispers of innovation danced through the air, and the spirit of Cassian illuminated the path to prosperity. With a furrowed brow she guided me toward the kitchen, as if the very air held secrets waiting to be uncovered. The fragrant steam of tea was already rising, filling the air with its warm embrace. "I know it's not easy," she said after a thoughtful pause, "but Cassian, well, he always seemed to come alive in the presence of Valora. Perhaps it is not an act of treachery. Perhaps it is merely the magic of chemistry at play." As I stood there, my eyes fluttered shut for a brief moment, only to open again in surprise. "Chemistry," I echoed, as though savoring the sound of the word on my lips. And thus we find ourselves at the bar, a place where stories unfold and memories are crafted. Just as she was about to utter a word, The sound of footsteps echoed down the staircase. In the soft glow of the evening light, Valora donned a well-loved college sweatshirt of mine, a relic of days gone by, as she cradled a book in her hands, ready to embark on another adventure through the pages. "Oh," she remarked with a hint of nonchalance, "I had no idea you were stopping by." As I gazed upon the cover of the book, a treasure I had tucked away beneath my bed for countless years, I felt the weight of memories flood my mind, a cherished gift from my father, bestowed upon me before illness cast its shadow over him. With a gentle flick of her fingers, she marked the page, folding the corner down like a secret waiting to be uncovered. "So, you call this place home?" With a curious heart I inquired. "Just until the wedding," she replied, her eyes unwavering, as if the world around her had faded into the background. Mother assured me that all was well. As I turned my gaze to our mother, memories danced in my mind. She simply let the truth linger in the air, unspoken yet undeniable. With a deliberate grace, I rose to my feet. "I'll allow you two to return to your cherished moments together." Yet, as I reached the front hallway, I found myself turning back. As I moved forward, I could sense Valora lingering behind, her intentions clear. She was there to revel in my misstep. I paused in my tracks, pivoting to meet her gaze. "Perhaps you have deceived them," I murmured softly. "In the depths of your heart, you might convince yourself that what you're nurturing is love, yet the foundation upon which it stands is but a pile of ashes." Her lip curled in a way that spoke volumes, a silent testament to her disdain. "Ah, but there lies a heart heavy with the weight of discontent. Release it into the winds of time. He never found joy in your presence." In that moment it stood before us, the sudden blow to the stomach. Yet, I did not raise my hand in farewell to her. "Savor his presence," I declared, my voice as cold as the winter's breath. "Yet, should you attempt to erase my existence once more, I shall ensure that all bear witness to the one who ignited the flames." With a dramatic roll of her eyes, she brought the door crashing shut behind me. And there, upon the hallway table, lay the final little jab, a framed photo waiting to tell its tale. It was a moment captured long ago during our family adventure in the enchanting land of Sedona. It was my moment, the chance I had been waiting for. Alas, the mark that once bore my name had been lost to the unforgiving scissors of fate, cropped away into oblivion. Underneath, a golden plaque whispered the words, "Captured by Valora." With a swift motion, I retrieved my phone and captured the moment in a single click. With a swift motion, she captures the moment, her phone clicking to life as it immortalizes the scene before her. It was as if I had stepped into a dream, for I couldn't recall the moment I left the confines of my home. In a blink, I found myself seated in my car, the engine humming with life, yet the keys rested innocently in my lap. The framed photo lingered in my mind, etched into my vision like a vivid memory that refused to fade away. Once I took a step forward. Once I took the time to refine and polish a piece. Once there was something I held dear. And now transformed anew like all that they have claimed. And so 3 days slipped quietly away. Once upon a time I toiled away, yet the essence of true labor seemed to elude me. As I navigated the conversation, my responses were brief and my tone unwavering, yet deep within, a tempest stirred. As the world around us begins to change, a transformation unfolds, revealing new paths and possibilities. The air is thick with anticipation, and the ground beneath our feet feels different, as if it is urging us to embrace the unknown. With each passing moment, the essence of what was becomes a whisper, and the promise of what could be beckons us forward into the unfolding story of our lives. Finding a place to call home. And so it was that the message arrived. Once upon a time, there was a figure of warmth and love, a guiding light in the lives of many. She was known simply as Mom. "Would you be able to visit on Saturday?" Merely to share words. With a serene demeanor. In the stillness of the moment, her voice, soft and serene, betrayed her true feelings. A plan was set in motion, waiting to unfold its tale. On a Saturday afternoon, I found myself navigating the well-trodden driveway, the gravel beneath my tires crunching in that comforting way it always did. A gentle throb began to stir within my chest. How many holidays, birthdays, and late-night tears has this house cradled for me? In that moment, uncertainty lingered in the air as I pondered whether it contained anything of significance. Within those walls, I discovered them meticulously set in place as if waiting for the right moment to reveal their secrets. There sat Mom, perched on the very edge of the sofa, embodying the role of a mediator, ready to navigate the currents of conversation. Her father sat across from her, his hands neatly folded in his lap. Cashin perched rigidly by the armrest, his posture a testament to the weight of the moment. And there was Valora, her posture impeccable, legs elegantly crossed, a smile gracing her lips as if she were meant to be there far more than I ever was. "Thank you for coming," Mom said, her voice carrying the weight of 1,000 unspoken words, as if we were engaged in a delicate dance of give and take. I settled into the lone vacant chair and bided my time. "Our hearts yearn for a path of peace," she continued, her voice steady and resolute. "There's no wisdom in prolonging this unease. In just 2 weeks' time, the joyous celebration of the engagement party will unfold. Shall we come to a mutual understanding to keep the peace and avoid any dramatic moments?" My jaw tightened, a silent testament to the storm brewing within me. "Through vivid scenes? Are you speaking of unveiling the truth?" In a moment that felt almost magical, Dad, a man of few words, who typically reserved his speech for matters of the weather or the intricacies of car maintenance, lifted his gaze. "There lies no need to unearth what has already been laid to rest." Cashin, with a slight clearing of his throat, found himself wrapped in silence, the words lingering just beyond his lips. And then Valora, radiant as ever, added her voice to the conversation. "Our hearts are filled with joy, and we yearn to gather and revel in the spirit of celebration. Embrace a new beginning. The deposit has been secured, and the honeymoon plans are set in stone. At long last, everything has fallen into place." Her voice flowed effortlessly, as if the universe had gracefully wrapped itself around her. In that moment, a spark ignited, as if the universe had whispered a secret into the air. Once upon a time, there was a promise sealed with a deposit. Ah, the honeymoon, a cherished chapter in the tale of love, where two souls embark on a journey of bliss and discovery, weaving memories that will last a lifetime. It was 2 years ago when the phone rang, and on the other end, her voice trembled with tears. In a moment of urgency, the call for action rang out. In a moment of quiet desperation, a young soul found themselves in need of a medical procedure, a secret too heavy to share with their beloved mother. "With all my heart, I promise to repay you, I swear it." With a swift motion, I sent her a sum of $18,000 through the wires, a gesture laden with meaning and intent. There was no paperwork to be found. Simply believe. In all my days, a bill never crossed my path. In all my days, I never laid eyes on a scar. In a quaint new apartment, a vision begins to take shape, captured in a growing Pinterest board, lovingly titled, "Forever with Him." And in that moment, clarity washed over me like the dawn breaking after a long night. Alas, that money found no refuge in the halls of any hospital. It gifted her the vineyard venue. In a realm where love blossoms and dreams intertwine, there lies a sanctuary known as the honeymoon suite. In the stillness of my being, there lies a profound silence. Not a single word escaped my lips. There was no necessity for me to do so. A chill swept through my entire being as if my very skin sensed the truth long before my lips could utter it. With a graceful motion, Valora delved into her bag, her fingers brushing against the soft fabric until they found a thick envelope, pristine and embossed, waiting to reveal its secrets. In that moment, her voice danced through the air, soft and inviting as she uttered, "Here. Gather round, dear friends, for a moment of magic awaits you. An invitation has been extended, beckoning you to join in a tale yet to unfold. My heart longs for your presence, a yearning that remains steadfast." With a decisive moment, I grasped it firmly in my hand, gazed intently at the shimmering gold lettering. Our family's name graced the front, a bold declaration as if all was well in the world. With a gentle motion, I returned it to its rightful place. Alas, I shall not be partaking in the gathering that honors the act of thievery. In that fleeting moment, a gasp escaped from Mom's lips. "Pray, Odeline, refrain from this path. She is your sister, a bond woven through the fabric of your lives." As my gaze fell upon her, a story began to unfold. He gazed deeply into her eyes. "In the beginning, I was your daughter, the first of my kind." With determination in my heart, I rose and made my way out, swift and resolute, before anyone had the chance to intervene. There shall be no raised voices. There were no final words spoken. It felt as though 1,000 unspoken words were resting heavily upon my shoulder blades, a silent burden that whispered of all that remained unexpressed. As the day wore on, the heavens above began to cloak themselves in a shroud of gray, casting a somber hue over the world below. As I approached my car, I paused to lean against the door, allowing the crisp air to fill my lungs and invigorate my spirit. With a deep breath, I finally unlocked my phone, my fingers hovering over the screen as I prepared to send the message that had danced in my mind for days on end. To Elias. "At long last, the moment has arrived. Would you be open to a conversation on Monday? In the realm of law, where rules and regulations intertwine, a story unfolds. As the sun began to rise on that fateful Monday morning, Elias approached his office door, unaware of the anxious figure waiting in the lobby. There I sat, clutching a folder that had remained untouched for days, its contents a mystery I had yet to confront. He offered no greeting, nor did he acknowledge the weariness that clung to her like a shadow. With a gentle nod, he stepped aside, inviting the visitor with a warm, "Come in." In that dimly lit room, a subtle aroma of leather mingled with the remnants of old coffee, wrapping around the senses like a warm embrace, oddly soothing in its familiarity. It took me back to those days when we would huddle together, poring over our books in preparation for the bar exam, a time untouched by titles and the sting of betrayal. With a gentle motion, I placed the folder upon his desk, my voice barely above a whisper as I urged, "I want you to see this, I think." My name was spoken, echoing through the air like a whisper of fate. He stood resolute, unyielding in the face of it all. As I lifted the lid of the folder, a world of words unfolded before me, inviting me to dive into its depths. Within the confines of that digital realm lay captured moments of the wire transfer destined for Valura. There lay a sum of $18,000, marked simply as personal, alongside the faded copies of Cashin's old business proposal, a request he once made of me to peruse. In that moment, he shared with me that he was merely letting his thoughts wander, exploring the vast landscape of ideas. In that moment, a revelation washed over me. It was as if the pieces of a grand design had finally come into focus, revealing a blueprint hidden in plain sight. For several long minutes, Elias remained silent, lost in thought. With a deliberate motion, he slid open a slender, locked drawer, revealing a carefully printed collection of LLC documents that awaited his attention. "Ah, so we find ourselves at the doorstep of Valura's grand venture, do we?" With a gentle nod, I acknowledged the moment. "Gaze upon line 14, he urged, nudging the form in my direction. Once upon a time, an initial angel investor emerged, taking their rightful place as OM through the clever machinations of Cashin's shell management firm. There you are. It was the moment of your transfer. They shrouded it in the guise of his name. In that moment, my breath was held captive, lodged firmly in my throat. As I leaned in, my heart quickened, for there it lay, just waiting to be discovered. It was a signature, a fleeting mark of my past, once inscribed on a lease agreement many years ago. It had been raised high, as if by unseen hands. It found new life once more. In hushed tones, I recounted the tale of how I became the spark that ignited her venture, only to be cast aside when my purpose was fulfilled. Elias settled into his chair, allowing himself a moment of respite. One may embark on a journey of legal action. Victory would be yours. Yet there lingers a question, a whisper of uncertainty. Yet, should you choose to act in this moment, they shall cast you in the shadow of bitterness. In the shadows of the heart, a feeling brewed, jealousy, that green-eyed specter, whispering doubts and stirring unrest. Imagine, if you will, a figure standing alone, adorned in finery yet exuding the unmistakable air of someone left behind, a heart once full now echoing with the weight of lost affection, all while clutching the remnants of wealth. Patience is a virtue, for in the stillness of time you may find them unsteady, ripe for the taking. Once more he had proven his wisdom, as if the universe conspired to affirm his insight. For the next hour we gathered around, weaving together a strategy that would guide our journey ahead. There have been no legal battles to speak of, only a simmering tension in the air. In our quest to safeguard the future, we meticulously crafted the necessary documents to ensure that any forthcoming investments associated with that business name would be duly noted and flagged. In that moment, he stepped forward, guiding me through the process of filing a formal notice of contribution. Just a whisper in the annals of public records, a fleeting presence that dances on the edge of notoriety yet remains shrouded from the glaring eyes of headlines. And so it was, yet another chapter awaited to unfold. As the sun hung high in the sky, I stepped out, a folder cradled under one arm while the other embraced a newfound clarity. As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the world, I found myself drawn to Valura's boutique, a charming haven of treasures waiting to be discovered. The windows sparkled with a radiant glow. And so it was with her name. Gold script, delicately etched upon the glass, whispered of a time when it had always belonged to her. As I stepped inside, I clutched the scarf she had once lent me during our college days, a cherished reminder of our shared moments. With a gaze that sparkled with surprise, her assistant lifted their eyes, wide with wonder. "Ah, greetings to you. Have you caught a glimpse of the email that arrived? Which email are you referring to?" In that moment, the system came to a standstill, caught in a web of silence and stillness. Alas, our Stripe account finds itself in a state of suspension. A legal banner woven with the threads of an investor's identity. Belonging to you. Just as I was about to speak, Valura stepped forth from the shadows of the back room. As her gaze fell upon me, the warmth of her smile slipped away like a fleeting shadow at dusk. Her gaze held the weight of a revelation, as if she had stumbled upon a truth that defied her understanding, something that bled in ways she never imagined possible. With a gentle gesture, I offered her the scarf, a token woven with warmth and care. It seems you may be in need of this once more. As she parted her lips, a silence enveloped her, and the words she sought remained elusive, trapped within her thoughts. With cautious steps, I drew nearer. Softly spoken, a whisper meant solely for her ears. Ah, the curious tale of erasing people, a whimsical notion that dances on the edge of reality. At times, their names emerge once more, standing out in bold letters. And so, with a heart full of resolve, I took my leave. There was no scene to behold. There was a calmness that enveloped the scene, a serene absence of turmoil. In the stillness, there was a woman, a quiet strength radiating from her very being, for she had at last discovered the value that lay within her soul. Upon entering my humble abode, I shed my shoes, filled a glass with refreshing water, and unveiled the glowing screen of my laptop. It was at that moment, when the air was thick with anticipation, that an anonymous message arrived, shrouded in mystery. Once upon a time, there was a being without a name, drifting through the vast tapestry of existence, waiting for a story to unfold. There exists no profile to speak of. Merely a simple direct message. Allow me to share a little tidbit with you. In the grand scheme of their ambitions, they have set their sights on unveiling their journey to the world, taking the first step towards the public stage. They seek to undermine your credibility before you take the path of legal action. For a full minute, the DM lingered on my screen, a silent invitation waiting for my next move. In a realm where names held great power, there existed a being without one. This entity wandered through the world, a shadow among shadows, seeking to uncover the essence of identity. Each step taken was a whisper in the wind, a tale waiting to be told, yet the absence of a name left a void, a mystery that beckoned to be unraveled. There exists a canvas, blank and untouched, where a profile picture could have flourished. It was but a single sentence, yet it ignited like a spark upon parched leaves, setting the world ablaze with its fervor. In the grand tapestry of their journey, they have set their sights on the momentous decision to unveil their ambitions to the world, choosing to take that first bold step into the realm of public visibility. They seek to undermine your credibility before you embark on a legal journey. Silence enveloped me, and I chose not to reply. Not a single breath escaped my lips, as if time itself had paused for that fleeting moment. With a gentle click, the laptop shut its eyes, and I rose from my seat, making my way to the closet that held the secrets of my wardrobe. In a world filled with vibrant colors and dazzling designs, the dress I selected stood apart, not for its brilliance, but for its subtle elegance. It was a matter of careful calculation. In the depths of the ocean, a hue as profound as the midnight sky unfolds, deep navy, a color that whispers tales of mystery and adventure. Shoulders that stand with purpose and form. Behold the elegance of a pristine neckline. With a graceful twist, I gathered my hair up high. Whispers of color danced lightly upon the skin. On this night, distractions would dare not intrude. Only the truth, pure and unadorned. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the streets of Austin came alive with the hum of Friday night traffic, a vibrant symphony of movement and energy that danced just beyond the window. In the heart of the city, a facade was maintained, as if the very walls of its upscale hotel ballrooms were oblivious to the tempest gathering just beyond their opulent doors. As the sun began to rise, I found myself arriving early, the world still wrapped in the gentle embrace of dawn. Once upon a time, there came a presence that was not welcomed, a shadow that slipped through the cracks of expectation. Uninvited, it lingered, weaving its way into the fabric of the moment, stirring whispers of uncertainty and intrigue, yet filled with a sense of assurance. As I approached the entrance, a sense of anticipation filled the air, yet no one stood in my way. Isn't it curious how folks often take one glance at you and decide you fit right in, simply based on your appearance? Within those walls, the atmosphere was laden with the sweet scent of perfume, the fervor of ambition, and the artful display of smiles crafted for the occasion. In a grand hall filled with laughter and clinking glasses, the air buzzed with the promise of connections. Yet, amidst the smiles and handshakes, one could sense a subtle undercurrent. A place where the word authenticity danced on lips, but behind those words lay a different intent, a calculated approach to forging alliances. As I reached for a glass of sparkling water from a tray that glided by, I paused for a moment, allowing my eyes to acclimate to the surroundings. And there she stood, a figure woven into the fabric of the moment. Once upon a time, in a land filled with enchantment, there existed a name that whispered through the winds, Velura. Upon the stage, bathed in the gentle embrace of a warm spotlight, her voice rang out, crisp and practiced, like a melody that had been carefully crafted for the moment. And thus I embarked on a journey from the very beginning. There are no shortcuts on this journey. It was a journey fueled by a vivid dream, relentless effort, and the unwavering support of those who had faith in my potential. And then the sound of clapping filled the air, a chorus of appreciation echoing through the space. And so the moment hung in the air, thick with anticipation, as silence enveloped the scene. With a gentle touch, she pressed her hand to her chest, while a vivid slideshow danced behind her, weaving tales of moments past. Snapshots of days gone by where laughter echoed and innocence reigned. Visions captured from her enchanting boutique. And at long last the words emerged. Once upon a time, in a realm not so far away, there existed a name that whispered through the winds, Velura Marin. A founder forged by their own hands. Once upon a time, in a world filled with challenges and trials, there lived a spirit that refused to be broken. This spirit, much like a sturdy tree weathering the fiercest storms, stood tall against the winds of adversity. Each setback was met with unwavering determination, and every obstacle became a stepping stone towards greatness. Through the darkest as I glided through the throng, I was as elusive as a wisp of smoke, weaving in and out, barely noticed yet ever present. Amidst the courteous exchanges, I discerned whispers of hidden tales. In the wake of their parting, Cashin observed how his former love seemed to descend into a whirlwind of turmoil. It seems that she has stirred up quite a bit of trouble for them now. Ah, what a pity it is indeed. There are those among us who find it difficult to let go, their hearts tethered to the past, unable to take that next step forward. And there it stood, a sight to behold. In the shadows just beyond the stage, Cashin lingered, waiting for his moment to step into the light. With a gentle lean, the figure approached the PR representative, their face adorned with a carefully crafted expression of concern, designed to evoke the deepest sympathy. Once upon a time, there was a remarkable woman who, delicate, I heard him whisper, soft and whispery. In the shadows of silence we held our tongues, but now the truth must be unveiled. She weaves tales that stray from reality. In all our hearts, we have only ever longed for her tranquility. A cry of frustration nearly escaped my lips. In that moment I stood poised, ready to seize the microphone and unravel their deceit with a fierce passion. Yet I chose not to. With a soft step, I made my way to the front, listening as the MC brought Velura's segment to a close. As we approach the conclusion of our gathering, let us take a moment to honor those who have paved the way for women in leadership. Among them, we must recognize the invaluable contributions of Odell and Marin, whose efforts have illuminated the path for many. With a deep breath, I took my place at the forefront. Softly, a handful of hands came together, creating a gentle rhythm of appreciation. Amidst the gathering, a handful of puzzled looks exchanged, each one a silent question hanging in the air. With a gentle smile gracing my lips, I grasped the microphone and raised my phone high, ready to share my moment with the world. In my heart, I hold a deep conviction that tales hold great significance. And so I spoke. Ah, the tales that unfold where a character finds themselves cast aside, only to weave their way back into the narrative once more. With a gentle touch, I pressed my finger against the screen. In the grand expanse of the ballroom, Cashin's voice resonated, weaving through the air like a melody, captivating all who gathered there. In the shadows of our silence, a truth lingered, one we hesitated to voice. She walks a path of instability. In the stillness of our hearts, we chose silence, a testament to the love that bound us together. Whispers danced through the air. With a soft creak, the chairs began to shift, their movements whispering secrets of the gathering that had just taken place. In a moment suspended in time, the glasses hovered, caught in the delicate balance of anticipation. With a gentle yet determined touch, I tapped once more. Behold, the founding document of Marin and Company, I proclaimed. On the day of January 3rd, in the year 2022, a tale began to unfold. In the beginning, there were two visionaries, Odell and Marin, who took the first steps into the realm of investment. With a flourish, I raised the notarized printout high for everyone to behold. And so, I pressed on with the original marketing deck. From a dream once shared, They have forged a reality that now belongs solely to them. Valura found herself suspended in time, caught in the chill of uncertainty as she descended the steps toward the microphone. As I shifted my gaze towards her, "I'm not here to humiliate you," I declared, my voice steady and calm. "Allow me to set the story straight." With a final flourish, I passed the microphone to the MC, gracefully descended from the stage, and made my way out into the world beyond. Behind me, the room erupted in a cacophony of sound. In the stillness of the moment, a collective breath was drawn, followed by a chorus of gasps that echoed through the air. Soft murmurs danced through the air. In the midst of a bustling crowd, the sudden burst of camera flashes illuminated the scene, capturing fleeting moments that would soon become cherished memories. Yet, I chose not to glance over my shoulder. With a gentle click, I shut the door, sealing away their presence. Not casting it aside with force, not even a gentle push to seal it tight. As the door closed behind them, the silence enveloped the room, consuming their departure like a shadow in the twilight. For a fleeting moment, I found myself standing there, one hand lingering on the doorknob, as if time itself had paused to witness the unfolding tale. In that moment, my apartment radiated a purity I had never known, stripped bare of all artifice. With a gentle release, I let the breath escape my lips, and I shifted my gaze toward the glowing screen of my phone. The moment captured from the grand gala? In a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, it had erupted with a force that shook the very ground beneath it. As dawn broke, it had spread far and wide, touching every corner of the land. In a twist of fate, a keen observer had captured the entire spectacle on video. Once upon a time, there was a speech waiting to be delivered, filled with words that danced and stories that yearned to be told. Once upon a time, there existed a document known as the contract. Behold the visage of Valura. In that very instant, I turned away, carrying with me nothing but the essence of my name, rising anew. Twitter ignited with a flurry of hashtags, among them the notable Real founder. Whispers of the past rise to the surface, breaking the stillness. No longer will they remain unheard. And there it is, my cherished delight. It was revealed that the quiet sister, with her gentle hands and unwavering spirit, was the very architect of the house they sought to take from her. Alas, even my inbox found no refuge from the chaos that surrounded me. Once upon a time, in the bustling world of news and stories, there existed a group of dedicated individuals known as journalists. Once upon a time, there were old colleagues. Once upon a time, there were distant relatives, connected by threads of family history that spanned across time and space. Once upon a time, a stranger reached out through the digital ether, sharing a sentiment that echoed in the silence. I never liked Valura. Gratitude fills the air as we reflect on the gentle reminder that Lao, in its essence, does not equate to the notion of being right. And then, like a whisper carried by the wind, came the call of Elias. And so it began, the moment when the audit was set in motion. In a twist of fate, the vigilant eyes of Stripe turned their attention to Valura's LLC. And, the grand treasure chest, you ask? A tale of wealth and opportunity awaits. They are retreating for now, awaiting clarity on ownership. With a gentle sigh, I lowered myself onto the edge of my couch, feeling the familiar embrace of the fabric beneath me. Not from a place of shock. But what a sweet relief it was. The journey to triumph is not complete. The sweet embrace of breathing room. And so it was that a message arrived, one I had never anticipated. Once upon a time, a voice recording found its way into the hands of another, carried forth like a message from the past, waiting to be heard and shared. Once upon a time, in a world where names held great power, there existed a being without a name. This nameless entity wandered through the realms, seeking to discover its true identity and purpose. Each step taken was a journey into the unknown, filled with wonder and mystery, as the quest for a name began to unfold like a tale waiting to be told. Only a whisper of a title. Gather round, for I have a tale to share with you. With a gentle tap, I summoned the magic of the moment by clicking play. In the stillness of the moment, Cashin's voice emerged, a melodic whisper that danced through the air, weaving tales of wonder and intrigue. Clear and laid back. She will not raise her hand in defiance. Odelin, a name that dances on the lips like a whispered secret, beckoning curiosity and wonder. What tales might unfold from such a name? Within her there lies a void, a spark that has yet to ignite. And so we shall gently move each piece one by one, allowing time to weave its magic as we transition with care. When she finally becomes aware, it will already belong to us. In that fleeting moment, time seemed to stand still. And then came the sound of Valura's laughter, a melody that danced through the air. In her heart, she carried a deep yearning for fairness, a desire that shaped her every thought and action. But therein lies her flaw. Alas, the file vanished into silence. My hands trembled with a restless energy. Yet it was not born from suffering, from a place of understanding. Pray tell, what is the address that has been sent forth? In a quaint corner of the bustling town, there stood a charming establishment known as Valura's Boutique. Upon delving into the depths of the metadata, I sought the hidden truths within. In the realm of organization, the file found its resting place within the sacred confines of her assistant's folder. After the passage of 3 hours, a soft email arrived, breaking the stillness. She commanded us to wipe your presence from every corner of our lives. Forgive me. The weight of it all became too much for me to bear. Once upon a time there was a letter, a simple yet powerful symbol known as R. It stood alone, waiting to weave its tale into the fabric of language and meaning. In that moment I chose silence, letting the words linger unspoken between us. For a time I found myself gazing out the window, lost in thought. As I gaze upon the dance of shadows weaving their way across the facade of my building, a story unfolds in the play of light and dark. In the tapestry of life, there are betrayals that pierce the heart with a pain so profound, it echoes through the very soul. Yet there are those who set free. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow across the land, they arrived, shrouded in mystery and anticipation. Cashin was the first to knock. In the shadows, Valura lingered, her presence a silent whisper behind him. Without a trace of makeup, her face had lost all its sharpness. In that moment, all that could be felt was a surge of panic, a wild rush that took hold and refused to let go. They were left standing at the threshold, the door firmly closed between us. I allowed their voices to flow freely. Oh, Delon, there is a way to turn back the hands of time on this. Should you decide to withdraw the legal claim, we shall set things aright. In the open for all to see. Simply convey that it was a misunderstanding that led to the confusion. He gazed at me with the same detached curiosity one might have when staring at an ATM screen, waiting for a transaction to unfold, anticipating a transaction on the horizon. With a tremor in her voice, Valura spoke, the sound wavering like a fragile thread in the wind. It was never my intention to bring about your downfall. Little did I realize the journey would unfold in such unexpected ways. With a deliberate nod, I acknowledged the moment. You did not bring about my downfall. In that moment I came to a halt. Allow the heaviness of the quiet to envelop you. You have set me free. In that moment they found themselves at a loss for words. As they departed, Valura cast a glance over her shoulder. Once upon a time I found myself pondering the essence of your being, for it seems I no longer recognize the person standing before me. With a gentle curve of my lips, I found myself smiling. Truly this time around. Perhaps that is where the trouble lies. Alas, you never did. And so, dear reader, we turn the page to unveil the next chapter of our tale. Perhaps therein lies the crux of the matter. Alas, it was never meant to be. Perhaps that is where the trouble lies. But you never did. As the last echoes of Valura's voice lingered in the air, I gently shut the door behind me. In my apartment, the air lingered, heavy with the unspoken words that hung like shadows in the corners. Yet, in that moment, I found myself craving the weight of it all, as if the heaviness held a certain comfort I had never known before. What I sought was the truth, bare and unadorned. 1 month had slipped by since the grand gala unfolded. It has been a month since the crowd hushed, and in that stillness, the version of myself they sought to obliterate stepped forward to seize the microphone. In that moment, silence had passed from one to another, like a precious secret whispered in the dark. In the span of just 1 week, Valura's brand faced the unexpected loss of 3 sponsorships, a turn of events that left many wondering about the challenges that lay ahead. In a moment of quiet resolve, Cashin descended from the firm he had once helped to build, leaving behind the echoes of his contributions. As the shadows of deception danced in the air, the carefully woven tapestry of their coordinated smear began to unravel, revealing its threads with the unexpected emergence of that old recording. In a moment of revelation, his voice unveiled the truth, whispering of a scheme meticulously crafted in the shadows. It was not a mere misunderstanding. Once upon a time there came a moment of change, a shift in the winds of fate. It was the assistant who delivered it to me, yet never sought recognition for their contribution. In a moment of quiet revelation, she penned the words, revealing that we were compelled to erase your name from our memories. The weight of it all became too much to bear. That was all it took. Messages of remorse began to flow in from voices long silenced, echoes of those I hadn't encountered in many moons. Whispers of disbelief floated through the air, as some claimed to be utterly astonished. Some whispered that they never truly embraced Valura's tale. Silence enveloped me, and I chose not to reply. In the journey of life, I discovered that the pursuit of closure fades away as the heart begins to mend. Once upon a time there was a mother who never reached out, leaving a silence that echoed in the heart of her child. And oh, how it stung. It wasn't that I held out hope for an apology. Yet, deep within, a flicker of hope lingered, whispering that perhaps she would seek to comprehend. She chose not to, and perhaps it was a fate that would remain forever untouched. Yet, this chapter was not penned with her in mind. On a serene Friday evening, an invitation arrived, beckoning me to a community art gala held at the newly unveiled downtown cultural center. It was not a display of opulence. Only a gentle warmth embraced the air. In the heart of the community, there exists a vibrant tapestry woven by the hands of local artists. Delicate twinkling lights danced gracefully above a gleaming patio, casting a warm glow that whispered tales of enchanting evenings. It was a journey shrouded in uncertainty, a path I had chosen without fully understanding the reason behind it, until the moment I arrived and the truth began to unfold before me. In the soft glow of the gathering, nestled among delicate floral displays and a collection of scholarship brochures, my eyes caught sight of it. Once upon a time there was a humble napkin, transformed by skilled hands into the delicate shape of a leaf, capturing the essence of nature's beauty in its folds. It was the very same shape that graced the table where Cashin first invited me to dine. Ah, the very design that Valura once scoffed at. Too precious, she had whispered, her voice tinged with a mix of wonder and reverence. Yet, on this particular night, the air was thick with seriousness. It was a subtle gesture, a simple nod that spoke volumes. A mark of distinction. In the dim light of the room, Elias lingered just a few feet away, his arms crossed tightly over his chest, a silent sentinel in the midst of the unfolding tale. As our gazes intertwined, a subtle smile graced his lips. He recounted how he had mentioned it was your special endeavor. As they lifted the glass to their lips, a warm, amber liquid swirled within, inviting them to take a sip. That evening, in a moment filled with honor and remembrance, they chose to name a scholarship after my father. For the unsung heroes who craft the magic from the shadows. It was a moment of revelation, one that caught me off guard, as the host's voice filled the air with words I had yet to discover. In that fleeting instant, the very act of breathing slipped from my mind. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the crowd began to disperse, casting shadows upon the Colorado River, Elias and I strolled side by side, our footsteps echoing softly along the water's edge. He inquired, "Do you feel better now?" With a gentle shake of my head, I dismissed the thought that lingered in the air. Alas, it remains unchanged. Once upon a time, there was a moment that lingered in the air, a simple yet profound pause that beckoned for attention. More distinct. Gone was the fire of vengeance that once coursed through my veins. It was a whisper in the stillness. Keener. There exists a distinct boundary, a clear demarcation, between the person I once was and the individual I vowed never to become again. As I recounted the tale, I shared with him how they had pinned me out of the story. Yet, I remained steadfast and unyielding. With a gentle grasp, I lifted the pen from its resting place. After that moment, silence enveloped us like a gentle fog, and words seemed to slip away into the ether. There was no necessity for us to do so. Upon returning to my humble abode that night, I carefully placed a cherished photo from the gala into a frame. Once a friend captured a moment while I stood upon the stage. In the midst of a thought, a tale unfolds. With a posture as proud as a knight ready for battle, the back stands straight, a testament to strength and resolve. In my gaze there lies no trace of doubt. It was never about the facade of power. Once upon a time it was a quest to rediscover my true self, to once again reflect the essence of who I am. In the pages of my journal I inscribed these words. This wasn't the ending they penned for my tale. Yet, it is the path I have embraced. And thus it transforms everything. In the tapestry of life, there are those who, with great fervor, seek to hush the echoes of your spirit. It is often these very souls trembling at the power of your words, who fear the resonance of your truth the most. And there are moments when justice whispers softly, hidden in the shadows. It is, in essence, a graceful departure, leaving behind the echoes of your name unblemished. Have you ever found yourself on a journey to reclaim the tale that is uniquely yours? Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. In the quiet moments of reflection, I find myself immersed in the tales of every soul around me,